Hey guys, BoxTruck Henry here. You'll notice that I'm in my shop right now and I'm wearing my work uniform, and that's because I just got off work a little while ago. I don't feel like going home and getting dressed. Sometimes I just stay in my work uniform the rest of the day. But maybe you'll also notice that I'm sitting in my van chairs as well. These are the chairs that I got from the junkyard. You'll probably see that a couple videos back. They've been sitting in my shop for a while. I've been kind of looking at them and contemplating on what I want to do with them. I know for sure I'm going to reupholster them, but can't decide what color scheme or type of fabrics I want to use. But just to give you a quick recap on these seats. So this is the driver's seat. I got the passenger seat here, and this is the bracket to the bottom of that. As I said before, almost all the seats in the junkyard had this excessive wear and tear on this side of the driver's seat. It didn't matter what year or Econoline model it was. All the Econolines had this excessive wear and tear. Sometimes they had it on the passenger side or the passenger exited out, but all of them had this excessive wear and tear. This one just happened to have an excessive wear and tear on this side as well. But the reason I got this particular seat is because it had the armrest as well as the passenger side. So armrest, very important. You gotta have that if you're doing long trips, long driving. So one thing for sure that I know I want to do is reupholster this guy, both of them, and they've just been sitting here in my shop and I'm trying to decide what color schemes or what kind of fabric materials I want to use. I know for sure I want to stay away from vinyl or leather. If this is going to be a recreational vehicle, most likely I'm going to be wearing shorts and tank top, and vinyl and leather can be bad news if it gets hot and you're out there driving in heat. So I definitely want to stay away from vinyl and leather. Besides, I kind of prefer fabric over leather anyways. Another material that I will definitely consider is nylon. I've seen some of the newer cars, they have a particular nylon that I think it makes sense. It's washable, waterproof, breathable, and it's pretty durable. For sure I'm going to have to address that excessive wear and tear. One thing that I need to do is find a way to reinforce that side of the seat as well as the passenger side. Not exactly sure what I'm gonna do. I know that the reason that there's this excessive wear on this seat is because most vans already sit up high. They're high vehicles, so you know the driver always ends up sliding off of the seat, you know, when getting out, as opposed to a car you just kind of step out. The seat here gets that excessive pull and swiveling back and forth, dropping down, so there's always that excessive wear on that side. So I need to find out how I can reinforce that side. My wife and I, we were at the fabric store the other day, and we were trying to decide or come to an agreement what type of fabric we want to use, but more importantly, what color schemes we want to use. Color schemes we choose for the seats will eventually set the theme for the rest of the box truck. And so it's very important that we pick a good color scheme for the seats. As far as the material goes, we know we want to go with fabric. We want to stay away from leather and vinyl. But the other thing we're also considering is the nylon, the car upholstery type nylon, and that alone is kind of hard to find. You don't find those at a Joann's or a local fabric store. That's kind of like a specialty fabric, so we'll have to kind of do some research on that. But if all else, we'll just probably do just straight regular car upholstery fabric. But again, the color schemes we use would eventually set the theme for the rest of the box truck. First things first, I have to take the vinyl off of these seats to start off with, so I have to kind of work backwards. Pretty much take the seat apart carefully I will have to reuse the pattern that's currently on the seat, and that's going to be the base of my pattern. I have to lay all the patterns out, and whatever fabric I decide to use, I have to put all the patterns from this guy onto the new fabric, cut it out, and then put it all back together and slip it all back on. So, and then once I decide on the fabric, then put it back together, just work opposite of what I did taking it apart. So let's take these things apart. The bottom just have little snap-in plastics. They just snap into the metal. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm just trying to unsnap it. It's not screwed or attached in any other permanent fashion. You just have to pull the plastic tab out. If you slide these rails back and forth, you'll reveal another screw in the bottom. At the junkyard, I actually just cut this the wire harness, but the actual connection is right here, so this is going to go into my existing connection in my van once I get ready to install these in my van. So these go right here. So I put my screws back in. So these had plastic tabs on this, and here's a good example of how these are attached. They're just kind of hooked on. You just kind of pull them up, pull them apart. And that's it. That's how you remove it. You'll if you're lucky, you might find some hidden money in here. If you're lucky. So here. this goes. So you have to try to remember where everything goes. It has a lining on the bottom, and usually this lining here will put new lining as well. So keep that. Don't rip anything. Anything you take out, do not rip it. Take everything out very carefully, as careful as you can at least. So this has a velcro. There's a velcro that keeps it kind of in place in the center. So you'll have to kind of yank it off. Well, I think I pulled it the wrong way. Oh, never mind. It's this piece, this center piece was glued on, and then a tab was sewed on in the center. When we come back, we'll probably just Velcro it in. I hate to have to pull it that way, but that's just how that's going to be. So the different layers of this seat cover is you have this padding on the inside, which we will attempt to replicate that as well. As far as the seat goes, believe it or not, we're actually going to attempt to reuse this cushion again. What I'm going to do is get some same type of foam. It comes in a liquid form, and you just pour it on and it expands, and then you got to shave it back down to its shape. So it looks like the only deterioration happened on this section. This section looks dark, but it doesn't look like it's actually tore up. So the only repair we're gonna have to do is this section, and maybe just glue. We can just glue this section back on, but we're going to reuse this one because this one already has all the cutouts and everything, so it's still a good cushion. So we'll set that aside. The main thing is I gotta take these covers apart and then eventually undo them. This is also a snap-in plastic tab, so it's got a little tab to lock it in. You just gotta get one. You just gotta get loose from one end and then just slide the rest of it out. But it's easier said than done. There we go. It's got like a little grip that grips it. And these are no fun to try to slide back on, because it does not slide. There's so much friction putting these guys on. So my suggestion is have patience and be very careful. Just keep working it out carefully. I have a little plate there. It's just to keep that in place for right now. There's another one of those nasty velcro, and in fact it is velcro. This is just a really nasty type of velcro. I mean, the little fibers on this white piece like interlocks with that velcro down below, like permanently, really. So if you can remove that very carefully and very slowly without tearing it up too much, because you're going to reuse it, potentially reuse it. If not, we'll just put a new one in. So I kind of pulled this away, but I can just glue that back on. Let's get a close-up of that. Check that out. That's that white stuff, and that's that Velcro strip there. Some nasty stuff.